Hi there, boys and girls, and welcome back to Conquering Math, where it all adds up. Today we'll be learning how to multiply decimals. Let's dive on in. By the end of today's lesson, you will be able to multiply multi-digit decimals using the standard algorithm. The Common Core State Standards today is 6NSB3. We'll start by talking about the algorithm that we'll use to multiply decimals. The first thing that we need to do is to stack the factors and multiply normally. We can ignore the decimal point for now. So if we look at 0.005 times 5.2, we find that the answer is 260. Next, we need to count the digits to the right of the decimal points in the factors. We call these digits the decimal places. If you look at 0.005, there are 3 decimal places, and if you look at 5.2, there is 1 decimal place. Next, we start from the right end of the product, and we move the decimal point 1 space to the left for each digit that we counted in step 2, and then fill in any unnecessary zeros. We counted 3 decimal places and 1 decimal place for a total of 4 decimal places. So we move our decimal point 4 places to the right, and we fill in the empty spots, I call them the egg cartons, with zeros. So we have 0.0260. This means that 0.005 times 5.2 equals 0.026. Remember that the 0 on the right-hand side of the decimal is unnecessary at the end, so we dropped it. For example number 1, we will evaluate 2.4 times 6.5. The first thing we need to do is stack the factors and multiply normally. So if we look at this as 24 times 65, we find an answer of 1,560. Next, we'll count the digits to the right of the decimal points in the factors. There's 1 decimal place in 2.4, and there's also 1 decimal place in 6.5, for a total of 2 decimal places. So we'll start from the right, and we'll move to the left 2 spots, and 1,560 becomes 15.60. So 2.4 times 6.5 equals 15.6. For example number 2, we will need to evaluate 0.0004 times 11. Once again, we'll stack the factors and multiply normally. So if we look at this as 4 times 11, the answer is 44. Next, we will count the digits to the right of the decimal points in the factors, and we see that there are 4 decimal places in 0.0004 and 0 decimal places in the number 11. Next, we start from the right, and we move the decimal point 1 space to the left for each digit that we counted in step 2, so we'll move it 4 times, and this makes our answer 0.0044. So 0.0004 times 11 equals 0.0044. For example number 3, we will need to evaluate 26.59 times 10. I'm sure that many of you know a trick for multiplying whole numbers times 10, so after we use the algorithm, we'll take a look and see if there's a similar trick for multiplying decimals times 10. First, we'll follow the decimal multiplication algorithm. 26.59 times 10, and if we ignore the decimal point, we find that the answer is 26,590. Now we look at the decimal places, 2 in the top factor and 0 in the bottom factor, so we slide our decimal point 2 places to the left, and we find that our answer becomes 265.90. So 26.59 times 10 equals 265.9. If you take a look, you'll notice that the decimal point in the product is 1 spot to the right compared to the decimal point in the original factor. This same idea can be applied when you're multiplying by 100, 1,000, or any other power of 10. Just think about how it might affect your answer. Example number 4 will be a real-world example. Alex bought 7 new books from the school book fair. Each book cost Alex $6.75. How much money did Alex spend in total? We'll start by setting up the problem. $6.75 times 7, and we'll ignore the decimal point while we multiply, and we have 4,725. Next, we count the decimal places. 2 in the top factor and 0 in the bottom factor, so we slide our decimal point over 2 places to the left, and now our answer is $47.25. Alex spent a total of $47.25 on new books at the book fair. Today you learned how to multiply multi-digit decimals using the standard algorithm. The Common Core State Standard today was 6 NSB 3. Now that you are familiar with these techniques, complete the independent practice problems in your guided notes packet. Then watch the independent practice solutions video to check your work. Thanks for watching this episode of Conquering Math, where it all adds up. I'll see you next time.